Hello everybody, Superior Stacker here guys. Today we're going to be talking about fractional gold and why you should own fractional gold. Well, there's many pros and cons to it, just like everything else guys. But before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. It will definitely help out the channel and it will help reach new viewers. So please hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Well guys, as you all know, this will be a very touchy subject. Some people would prefer the 1 ounce of gold to the fractional here. But like I've said many times before, not everybody is in that possibility of obtaining an ounce of gold. Not right away, they would have to either do things, but it's not an option for everybody. Some people could go in there, buy an ounce, 2, 3, 4, even 5 or more ounces of gold at one time. And some other people can't. The only option they have is fractional. So all around the world, guys, gold is money. Doesn't matter if you are in Asia, Europe, Africa, North or Central or South America. Gold is universal money, no doubt about it. As prices continue to rise, especially like they have been lately, fractional gold is becoming a more affordable option. It sure has. For those that can't afford a full ounce, fractional gold is definitely a good option to go, and it's something that makes it doable. Not everybody can afford that $25, $27, $2,600 coin. So you would definitely pay a higher premium for fraction. There's no doubt about that. We all know that. There's no way around it. Sometimes you can get lucky. You can get a good sale close to spot. And shoot, even sometimes under spot if you get very, very lucky. But that is just very rare. But it does happen. So there are many reasons why you should own fractional gold. Some of them are you can definitely do a lot of purchases if there was going to be an economical meltdown situation. Fractional gold could be used as a barter. You could get different items, supplies, food, weapons, medical, whatever. But honestly, we should all try to be ready for in that kind of case and have a little bit of everything, kind of to be self-reliant, because you never know. It's just kind of like if you're going to go on a camping trip, it's a very good idea to have a first aid kit. You never know what could happen. Snake bite, when you're fishing, hook, slip, scrape. You never know. So it's always good to be prepared. But again, it would be a good barter item, just like silver would. But I'd rather have fractional gold than a full ounce of gold if we were going to be in a barter situation, because then having a full ounce, one, the transport, so many reasons, guys. So other reasons are it's very concealable, so it's easy to transport. Fractional is a lot easier to transport than it would be to carry 1 ounces of gold. It would be a lot heavier. You could easily conceal these, kind of hide them, because you want to be sneaky in these situations, because you do not want to make yourself be all flashy like, oh, look at all the gold I own. I'm prepared. You guys should have prepared. Oh, I need this, I need that. Oh, I'm gonna pay in gold. Like, you're gonna become a target in a heartbeat. And at that point you're asking for you're asking for something. And I know most viewers will be like, well, I would never do that. And that's great. That's the right thing to do. But you'd be surprised some people how they can react out there. It's just like the same thing like you would have somebody with, a certain kind of vehicle, or you'd be like, oh, my vehicle is 150,000. I'm like, wow, well, that's great. My not so expensive vehicle does the same thing. Probably doesn't have all the gadgets, but hey, I get from point A to point B. But anyway, you guys get the picture on that. And fractional gold also allows people on a budget to own it. You don't have to be buying that full ounce, but yet you can still buy. You're available to buy a gram, half a gram, 1/10, 1/20th, a quarter of an ounce of gold. So that's the beauty of it. And of course, if you're gonna be like, well, if you're gonna get that full ounce in fractional, you're gonna end up paying so much more. Well, yeah, you are, but at the same time, it's like if you had a transaction in a 1 ounce gold coin, it would be gone right there and then. Most people are not going to be like, well, I'll give you that and I'll give you an extra supplies of food to make up for it because you're giving me a full ounce of gold. No, in a barter situation, they could be like, yeah, I'm taking the ounce of gold and that's it. When you probably could have done it, depending on what you're getting, with a lot less of, let's say it originally would have costed you 5 or half an ounce. And if you were to have fractional, you could get to half an ounce. It's better to pay that in a half an ounce and losing your full ounce of gold. But again, if you need it, you need it, right? But again, guys, you could do so much more with fractional. Also, let's say what would happen if gold hit $5, $10, $20,000 an ounce? What would happen? What would we do in that case? It would be so hard to get rid of a full ounce. Just saying. Nothing wrong with owning one. But can you imagine? It would rather be easier and better to have fractional for that situation. And then another reason fractional gold is awesome, it's a transportable wealth. There's been many situations and many scenarios where I've heard of people come from other countries and they've brought with them gold. A lot of course, some of these were in flakes. They brought in flakes of gold and they have these little vials. Some of these were from Asian countries, and they came up to some emergencies. They had to pay some debt in a very fast situation. All of a sudden, these things came up. So what they did was they sold some of their flakes, and that helped pay down that debt. So it doesn't just need to be a very bad economical situation, but I believe it's very good to have fractional gold, and you're not going to be spending that much. And then, of course, if you do want to get a full ounce, I guess you could save the amount each month until you get to that point. But to me, what works for me is I'm like, okay, I'm going to get some gold. Price is a little bit down compared to what it was. And then I try to plan for it. I'm not like those individuals could just go in the coin store and be like, oh yeah, give me a monster box of silver and 5 ounces of gold. I've seen that happen. I'm just like, wow, that's incredible. But not all of us can do that. So like I said, in a bad situation, in like a war or economical meltdown, it is good to have fractional gold because you can barter with it. It could get you out of very bad situations real quick. So it's better to have it and not have it. That's what I always say. And again, guys, it makes it obtainable for people that are in a budget, that can't get that full ounce of gold. And honestly, I like the little fractional. There's something nice about it. Just adding little pieces of gold, and before you know, you'll have a nice gold collection. So like they say, it's not how fast you're running the race, it's how you finish the race, correct? You could start all fast and aggressively, and it's all about finishing at that finish line, guys. So that's my opinion. Please let me know in the comments, what's your opinions? Do you like fractional gold? Are you totally against it? Or tell me about some of your experiences. Shoot, I remember when I was buying some of these, not the more later ones, but some of the older fractional gold that I have, I remember paying $175 for 1/10 of an ounce, and I was just like, oh, I could have bought so much silver with that. Whoa, what am I doing? This is so much money. But then, guys, look at where we are at now. In the beginning of the year, it was costing about $230, $235 for 1/10 of an ounce of gold. It would be hard to get at that price unless you get a very good deal, somebody selling or just trying to get rid of it real quick. Right now, you're looking at like $290, over $300 in certain pieces, especially if they're collectible. So that's my opinion, guys, on fractional gold and why it's good to own it. I believe there's some fair reasons why, and there's pros and cons to everything. So that's all I have to say on this video, guys. And please leave on the comments your opinions on it. I would love to hear it. It's always awesome hearing from the community of what's your opinion. Even if it's something that if you're with or against, hey, everybody has a right to their opinion. It's very interesting hearing from others on what works for them and what doesn't. Well, that is it, guys. You guys take care, and I will see you on the next one, and happy stacking.